lying in my bed, a creature void of form. Been so afraid of everything. I need a chance to be reborn. I never wanted anything that someone had to give. I don't live here anymore. I went along in with you. When I think about the old days, babe, you're always on my mind. I know it ain't like I remember. I guess my memories run wild. Like when we went to see Bob Dylan. We danced to Desolation Road. But I don't live here anymore. But I got no place to go. Beating like a heart, I'm gonna walk through every doorway I can stop. I need some time, I need control, I need your love. I wanna find out everything I need to know. I'm gonna say everything that there is to say. Although you've taken everything I need away, I'm gonna make it to the place I need to go. We're all just walking through this darkness on our own. Time surrounds me like an ocean. My memories like waves. Is life just dying in slow motion? Or getting stronger every day? I never took our love for granted. You never left me wanting more. But you never recognized me, babe. I don't live here anymore. Beating like a heart, I'm gonna walk through every doorway I can stop. I need some time, I need control, I need your love. I wanna find out everything I need to know. I'm gonna say everything that I need to say. Although you've taken everything I need away, I'm gonna take it to the place I need to go. We're all just walking through this darkness on our own. Beating like a heart, I'm gonna walk through every doorway I can stop. I need some time, I need control, I need your love. I wanna find out everything I need to know. I'm gonna say everything that I need to say. Although you've taken everything I need away, I'm gonna take it to the place I need to go. We're all just walking through this darkness on our own. We're all just walking through this darkness on our
All right. Testing. I appreciate that, M6. Thank you, man. Hello. Hey, everybody. We
Hey y'all.
are doing something non-lolcow related, non-drama related again tonight. I've actually been working on a slideshow for like, I don't know, has it been a month?
6 months.
It's like when I get off of work every night, I do a couple slides and try and do a little bit of research, and it's been
Yeah.
very I don't know, mentally rewarding for me though. I've enjoyed it. It feels like, I don't know, it's just a nice change from waiting on Shanny to go live, or anyway, how you doing, babe? Can y'all hear okay?
I'm doing okay. I'm sorry that it was
What?
an hour and a
Yeah,
half
sorry we're
later,
late. We had
but
a babysitter hang up, but we're good to go now. So what we are talking about tonight is an incident that I guess it's known as the Dylatov Pass incident, which is um, it is something that happened. I think it was in the '60s. I should know that already. Where a group of 9 hikers um, went on a pretty rigorous hike into a snowy landscape in like Siberia, and they got lost, and the stuff surrounding it just seems very odd, and you know if you have that kind of conspiracy theory type brain, man, it really scratches that itch pretty good. So yes, it's in 1959 into the northern Ural Mountains. These hikers go on, it's like the harshest environment on Earth as far as like cold is concerned. So basically, rescuers find their tent abandoned on the side of a mountain, and everything, all of their like belongings, their boots and their food is still there, equipment, everything, and it looks like the tent was cut open from the inside. So
it was 1959, by the way.
yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Hmm.
um, but anyway, we like there's all kind of conspiracy theories around it, just tons of them. Some of them crazy, some you can just probably hear about them and count them out, but it's fun to think about. But let's go ahead and
It's
pull up a
fun to
slide.
think about.
It
It's
is.
terrifying to think about.
I love this stuff, and it's just it
I
makes me
mean, of the
so,
possibilities of the things that could have happened.
for sure. But dude, like the thing about this that's so interesting too is you think about people going on a hike, say here. I mean, there are some places you can hike here for extended periods. People go like across um, the east side of the United States up into the mountains and stuff. They have big long
Mm.
treks where people just, I forget what they're called, but you know, pretty pretty extreme, I guess, but like nothing like this. These people took off and undertook like a 200-mile expedition in the snowiest, like coldest shit you could imagine.
Was it the longest, hardest one they've ever done? I
I
wonder.
think some. I don't know. That's a good question. The most of them, if not all of them, were pretty experienced
Yeah.
hikers. Um, so it's not like they knew what they were getting into as far as like they all had some. Um,
Wasn't the leader of the group like 23 years old?
yeah, his Igor Dilatov was his name.
Yeah.
So he got the pass named after him, which is kind of a bummer way to get something named after you. But um, let's see. Give me a second to look at my notes, and let me pull up my slides, dudes. Okay, we're gonna try and do this all
And then
professionally.
didn't one of them get sick
That's
or
right,
something
exactly.
and
So there
did
was
ended up not
originally,
going or
yeah, originally there were 10 of them,
yeah.
and they got to a base camp right at first. I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit, but got to a base camp and he was sick. His name was Yuri Yudin, actually, and he just decided to go back. Like he couldn't make it. I think maybe he had like a back issue or something. Something was
Hmm.
wrong where he just, I mean, I guess a lucky decision, although he seems like he felt pretty guilty about not going with them, even though, that would have probably meant certain death. So Igor Dilatov of the Dylatov Pass fame, he was the group leader. He was, right, 23 years old, and he was a radio engineering student. Um, they all went to this college called the Ural Polytechnic Institute, which is, I guess, like a nice, I don't know if it's like a trade school, but they all like learned pretty hands-on, like good trades. I don't know how to explain it, but cool stuff, like military kind of based. It seemed like. Um, um, okay, sorry guys. So Igor. Then we go to Zenata, or Xena. She was a radio engineering student and experienced hiker. She also had a diary with her, which kind of gave us some details during the, what they found after the expedition. Um, they're not okay. And
Well, I have a question.
please save me, save me.
The college connection, it says, is more interesting than simply they were a bunch of students that went to school together.
Elaborate.
Yeah. Okay. So most of the group were connected to the same major Soviet technical university,
Right.
and the university's hiking club was central to how the expedition was organized, it says. And
That's kind of dope. A hiking club.
right,
That's
if they had a hikers club in Louisiana, they would all pass away from malaria or
man, to
that's
get the
probably
West Nile
the West
like that.
Nile virus, heat exhaustion.
Oh, it's rough hiking down here, I'm sure.
It's like breathing soup through a straw.
Yeah.
I stay indoors.
I did a college class, like a survival class, and we did a hike for like a 3-day hike as like our final, I guess. It was
I did
cool.
a hunter safety course.
Yeah.
And Mesha, let me tell you something. It was not c'est bon. It was not good. It was so long. It was a whole weekend, and I was 12.
Yeah,
with
they make us take it
ADHD.
young down here.
Yeah, no, it was not. Undiagnosed ADHD, by the way. It was not fun. So anyway, it says, back to the college, Ural Polytechnic Institute.
Right.
Polytechnic, I've never heard it anything
The
said like that.
Ural Polytechnic Institute.
Oh, okay.
Like
Well,
that.
it sounds better like that. Yeah. Okay. UPI.
Right.
It's in Russia, and today the institute is part of a federal university.
Nice.
It
Okay.
wasn't a tiny school. It says UPI is a major Soviet technical institution educating engineers, physicists, and other specialties needed for the USSR's rapid expanding industry and scientific programs. So it gives what each person was studying there.
Lay it on us.
So now I'm not gonna be able to say these words.
That's all right.
These aren't French or
You want me to take
Cajun
it?
French.
And
Igor.
right.
He was.
There were 2 Igors, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the one it's named after. So say it,
Dylatov.
Dylatov. Okay, he was a 5th-year radio engineering student. Radio engineering.
So he probably knew some shit. You
So-
probably put a radio in his hand, and he could,
What's radio engineering for?
I don't know. I guess
We don't
it's-
have that anymore, do we?
Shh. You asking the wrong one.
Okay.
I'm sure we do. I don't know. I know there's like radio guys in the military and stuff like that. It probably has to do with like ham radio type things back in the day. Like
Yeah.
those backpack radio guys you'd see in the military.
Yeah, 1959. I mean,
Right.
It's probably we're past radio now, aren't we? Or no?
Man, we still use radio.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah. I mean, we use a lot more satellite, I feel like, at this point. More-
Zenadia, is that how you say that?
Zenata
Zenata.
or Xena.
Zenadia.
Also a radio engineering student.
I like the way I say it better. How do you say her last name?
Kolmogorova. Okay,
Okay.
y'all need to calm down with these names, man.
They say the
Get
same
it?
thing about Cajun names, though.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
We're like, that's not Herbert, it's A Bear.
That's true.
Not,
I always like when I see a Cajun name
Goche.
on like a TV show or something. Like, oh, like this one of us, like A Bear
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Goche
yeah.
or
and the way they pronounce it.
yeah.
Goche is
Tibadeoxa.
Yeah. Goche is spelled Gauitir.
T-I-E-R.
Ther.
Oh,
Goche.
yeah. You can spell it that way too. I guess there's multiple spellings of it. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so she was a senior radio engineer student. So
And also,
Igor was a 5th year,
right.
and she was a senior. So what's the difference? I thought senior was 4 years.
Who knows how them Russians be doing? They might have 8 years of radio school.
Oh.
Who cares? You know. Uh,
What
she
you
was-
learning in 8 years of radio school?
I don't know. She was a bad lady too. Like as far as like the experienced hikers, there was a story about her, I think specifically, where she was bit by a viper during.
That was her.
I think so.
Oh,
She was
okay.
bit by a viper and just kind of like, well, let's keep going. And also, the other lady in the group was accidentally shot in the leg by another one of her group, not during this hike, but in like a former group. So they're all trying to like.
Some boss ladies, huh?
It's pretty bad, bro. If I get shot, I'm going home. There's no question.
Girl bosses over here. Okay, and then there's Yuri,
Yeah. Okay. Yuri. Oh,
a
here we
fourth
go.
year radio engineer student. So he's
Krivon-
fourth year.
Krivonishenko.
Doroshenko. Doroshenko.
Good job.
Is that bad?
No, it's
I don't
okay.
know.
I lost my place. Anyway,
Crucify me. So what?
so
Tell me about this fourth year radio engineer.
let's see. He'd worked around the Soviet nuclear industry and had been involved in cleanup connected to the Krishtim nuclear disaster, which I've never heard of that. Let's see. Later, I don't want to even spoil that yet. Okay. He has an interesting connection to the and like the stuff that they discover later on. Okay. So,
Okay,
and these
then
are all their
there's-
actual real pictures here up on the stream too. So I did a lot of work on this. I actually like had to dig and put this together. I'm real actually proud of myself. This is the Von it snuck that in there, the Von Beardo files. I didn't add that. All right.
And then there's I can't say these names.
Okay. Ludmilla.
Ludmilla.
Yeah.
Okay. She's a fourth year student. Sources variously translate her area as construction or engineering economics.
Okay.
And then Alexander K.
Hold on. I got background music for this, guys. Hold on.
How do you say that?
Sorry, babe. Give me a second. Alexander Kolevatov.
Yeah. Fourth year physics and physical technical student associated with nuclear physics training. And then Yuri Yudin,
Yuri Yudin. That's correct.
fourth year UPI student in engineering, economic geology related program. This is the student that turned back because he didn't feel well for
Right.
whatever reason,
Correct.
and he survived. And then Rustem
Who I don't remember him. Let me see.
Slobodin, UPI graduated in 1958 as a mechanical engineer.
Nice.
And then
Semyon.
yeah.
So Semyon is the one that
Wait,
stands.
no, his last name is Slobodin. Is that how you
Slobodin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about. I'm sorry, a different one. I jumped ahead of you. The guy Semyon, he was different than the rest in that he was much older, like at least 10 years, actually 15 years older than most of the other group, and he was like a World War II vet that I guess just liked hiking, and got in with this group.
Yeah, he was in his late 30s, and I think everybody else was in their 20s,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vaughn told me we were doing this tonight.
Well, we
Today, actually. So I'm sorry if I don't. So anyway, let's see. Yeah, he was 38, I think, and everybody else was like in their 20s,
right.
mid 20s, early 20s. Anyway,
Okay.
so the
Who else? we got?
next one is, well, we might as well talk about him since you brought him up. Say it again. Simeon.
Let me see. I lost him now.
Simran Zoltar.
Zolotarov. Yeah, that's who we just talked about.
Yeah, he was older. And it's funny he wasn't the leader. The 23-year-old Yuri was the leader, but
I guess he was just happy to tag along.
yeah.
Anyway, let's.
And then Rustem, we already
you already said him.
talked about him.
Let's just move on.
Nick, we have two more.
Okay.
Okay. Nicola Thibodeau. I'm sure that's not how you say that.
Thibodeau?
That's how we would say that here in
Thibaut
Louisiana.
Brignoli.
Yeah.
Okay.
UPI graduated in 1958 civil engineering. And then, so we had 3 Yuri. No, we had 1 Igor. Okay, Yuri Krivonishenko. I don't know.
Bro, we are struggling.
Like I
we already
said,
talked about him, though. Okay.
you told me we were doing this today. So,
All right.
UPI graduated. We did talk about him. He was
We did.
construction and hydraulics.
Okay.
Is that what it says? I don't know.
All right. So those are the players. We're moving on now. Okay. So they began in a winter ski expedition like the night before, and they set out for Mount Ortorton. It's like a very, very difficult, trek once they got there. So this is where Yuri Yudin turns back because he was not feeling his health. And because of their diaries and stuff like that, we're kind of going to get to follow a lot of, just like what was going on in their minds, which I thought was interesting. It was cool that they had, I guess people just be carrying diaries back in the day so you could write. I feel like that's a move we need to start making again. Yeah.
Well, if you're people do though. It's just in the form of social media or their phones.
Right.
Or calendars.
It's
you
true.
know what I'm
I guess
saying?
social media is kind of like a diary for.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
But also they're going on this hiking trip that's pretty radical. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty. They knew it was going to be hard, right?
Yeah.
They're probably all going. They probably had diaries they kept on every expedition just to, go back and see.
Probably.
And read the struggles and the joys and the things they overcome. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like,
and you could tell that like none of them had any kind of inkling that, this was going to be like a business as usual, just a fun. They like their spirits were high. They didn't seem like they were struggling or fighting with each other or anything like that. So, so this is what it looked like going into the mountain, starting up at the top at Vizhai. That's where they started, and they trekked down. And I'm sorry, I'm lost again.
everybody, let's take a moment of silence.
Thank you. Y'all pray for me real quick. So the Mountain of Torton actually translates to Dead Mountain, which is very ominous. Doesn't seem like it's going to be problematic at all. But there is like a group of like indigenous people that live there, and I guess that's like their colloquial term for it. So that kind of looks like they're following the side of a mountain all the way down to Mount Torton was the plan. All right, let's move on. So these are actual photographs that they took, that they were the rescuers, I say rescuers, but the people investigating whenever they found them, recovered from their cameras. They also had cameras, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you can zoom in on these are really great pictures. I especially like this one top left. Everybody looks happy. It's cool pictures,
Well, okay, so what happened was the group,
Go ahead, man.
where are you at right now?
Just looking at the photographs. Go ahead.
Okay, so that's the rescue people.
No, these are photographs recovered from the dead people's cameras.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are.
Can we just say the group's cameras?
Yeah,
the
the
dead people.
Dead group's cameras.
Sheesh. So the group reached the eastern slope, it says, of the Kolat. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say these words anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, it translates to Dead Mountain. How did you say it?
Dead Mountain.
Okay, great. There's a lot of like hawking and spitting when it comes to me trying to.
Oh yeah, it's kind of a guttural
I
sounding
can't.
language for sure.
I can't. Anyway, the weather deteriorated, and instead of descending, like it said, like a kilometer into the forest, right? Because the trees would have actually shielded some of the wind, right? And the snow, right?
Yeah. All right, so this is the final diary entries. All of them, like we said, kept. It becomes important later. They start talking about murder and escaped prisoners and spies and like some of the theories that people talk about. There's like, you can't tell that any of them are terrified or worried about anything. And so you can't really see what, if any, that there was a problem. But I don't know. There's just a lot of, man, I'm kind of struggling here, dudes. I'm sorry. Let's skip to the next one. I was not ready for this. So after like 2 weeks out there, they had a set date, February 12th, where they were supposed to be back on, nobody thought anything about them being a day late or so. It wasn't like a concern or anything. But after like 4 or 5 days, people started to become, families started to become concerned. So they, alert the school and the police, and
4 or 5 days after.
Right. So like no contact from February 13th to 19th. Families assume the delays are due to weather, which is reasonable because of
4 to 5 days.
I mean, it's like a 3-week expedition. So they're like, it's not like they're going out for 2 days. It was a couple of weeks.
2 weeks,
Right.
right? And so a week later, they're like, oh, well, so 3 weeks in, they're like, well, now we should look.
I mean, I guess they're a little bit
That's
more
crazy
chill in
to me.
Russia,
Doubtful.
So it says February 20th, families request a search from local authorities.
Hold on. Do you know any Russian that's chill?
Chill in a way that they're not as worried about dangerous stuff. I wouldn't say chill. They're like, they have no problem like playing with a gun around their kids.
Yeah, right.
Or, like.
And that's probably
wrestling a bear.
stereotypical of us, but from what we've witnessed online and heard on
Did
the
I ever tell you
news-
about, I met this Russian guy whenever I was in Europe, and he at a bar, and we get to talking to this guy at the bar, and he was like, can you get me Glock 9mm? He said, yeah, we got, I'm like, we have those in USA. And he said, I want to get 2 of them so I can pull them out. And he pulls from his side like this, and he goes like this. So most
like
Russian,
Scarface.
Oh, thank you, Granny Whisper. I appreciate that that donation. Thank you very much. Happy birthday. Thank you. So anyway, yeah, Russians are not
What
chill.
did you say to him?
I don't remember what I said actually, but I thought it was, I remembered it though.
Like this.
Like
and
this.
And he was very serious.
Yeah, like you have those gun holsters that are on the sides
that are
of
on
your
the
chest.
side, and he crossed his arms.
Yeah. I mean, it would be badass, I gotta admit.
It's very cowboy.
Right. It's very
American
That's what they
cowboy.
think of us. We think we're
I
all
know.
cowboys eating hamburgers and,
Riding horses.
it's true.
They're not far off.
So February 20th, they request a search, and from the 21st through the 25th, like volunteers from the school decide to go out there and start searching around.
So not even
friends.
authorities. Like
I don't know, maybe some policemen. It says, okay, searches by volunteers, military, and police begin across the region. It's like a huge region too, so they kind of have to estimate where
that's
they
interesting to me that military, like when we have searches here, military isn't called unless it's a military
are. I don't know.
outfit.
I've never thought about that. We don't call people like military dudes, or maybe helicopters or something. Occasionally. Maybe
No.
not.
I mean, maybe, okay, so if someone drowns in the Gulf, they'll call the National Guard.
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes.
I guess there's situations, but
Yeah. I wonder if this was one of those situations, or
this would be big news if this
if
happened
these
in the
people
US.
were affiliated, some of them with
Uh-huh. With
so
the KGB.
that's interesting to me.
Yeah, you know me. It's true. Yeah, there are some theories that maybe some of these guys were like KGB agents and stuff, and were like on a mission up in the Ural Mountains, because they also did have like weapons testing up in the area. Like, who knows what kind, really?
Really? Who knows?
Who knows?
We all know.
It's some Russian shit for sure, though.
Oh yeah.
You know. So on the 26th, the helicopter crew makes a discovery, and they find the tent. So this is like the big smoking gun evidence. You know, it's pretty shocking because everything that these people own, basically, for the most part, their boots, their clothing, food, equipment, their cameras, the diaries, all of that stuff is still in the tent, and it appears to be cut open from the inside. So they find this tent, it's out in the open, they can see it. Like, what would make a person, why would you have to open a tent from the inside? You know, it's just crazy to think about.
I mean,
You mean you can expect-
hypothermia can do a lot of
True.
crazy things to you mentally.
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll make you nuts.
Well, before we get into all that,
Go for it.
what happened, Vaughn?
What happened? What?
Like, never mind. Keep going.
Okay.
Dang.
So they were expected February 12th. When they failed to arrive, families assumed delays. And then we said all this. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is the area that they found him in. This is another actual picture, which I thought was great. I went out of my way to look through a Russian website to find these pictures, bro. I was so proud of myself. So it was a lot of volunteers, a helicopter, and I guess the helicopter is what is how they were able to find it. So
How they were able to find the tent?
yeah,
Okay.
so that's how they spot it. So this is the actual tent. This is the pic.
And I think I remember when I watched this a few months ago when you said you wanted to do this, that the reason why they found out that it was cut from the inside
right.
was a
Thank you,
lady
M60.
that was actually a fabric, like a fabric person, I guess, a person that
She worked
dealt
with
with
fabric
a lot
and
of
stuff?
fabric. Yeah,
So when it was recovered, she looked at it.
identified it like and said this was cut from the inside, the way that it's frayed or whatever.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I think it was a lady. It may have been a man. I don't remember the details of it, but I think that that's how they figured out that later that it was cut. That's how it was cut,
Interesting.
from the inside.
Yeah, so like I said, this is an actual tent. These ones down here are actually AI, which that one snuck by me, so I apologize.
What do you mean AI?
So like when I designed the slides, I would get, I'd put in like actual pictures and what I wanted it to basically say, and then sometimes the AI will just sneak little shit in there, and it's very
Hallucinate?
frustrating.
Yeah.
I had to like keep course correcting the thing, but anyway, real tent, all this other stuff, not real.
The bottom is
Right.
not real. The
All the
top
bottom.
is real.
Okay, so next slide, guys. We're 10 in. So these are the actual.
Were there any more details about the tent that we needed to know?
Let me think. Let's look back real quick like that. All of this stuff was in there. Igor actually had like a little camp stove that was inside, that he was able to like kind of heat up the tent and cook food and stuff like that. It was just a little homemade thing that was also in there. I guess it's been speculated that maybe that had something to do with it, maybe fumes
A
or
fire?
yeah,
Or,
but nothing
Why
seemed-
would they cut it open? That
Right.
doesn't make sense.
It's crazy. Thank you again, M60. I appreciate that, man. So these are the footprints walking, and some of them were all going in different directions. So like these ones that have the blue squares around them, bare feet. Those are socks. Okay, these ones going off to the right continued into the forest. So all these people, all 9 of them, were found in like 3 different locations. They're all headed downhill away from the tent into the forest. So it's like minus 20 degrees Celsius. How cold is that? Is that like minus 50?
I'm sure that's something I have no idea.
That's wild. Man, I can't even fathom going camping in that, dude. We'd die.
I think minus 25 degrees Celsius is minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit.
That don't sound right.
I'm looking at it. Unless the Google machine is lying to me.
Man, don't be lying. Okay, like I said, so these are where the bodies were found. Right here on the right, you see the cedar tree. There was 2 bodies found there. On the slope, 3 were found together. Okay, so near the stream, there were 2 bodies found. And all in that certain area, there was, I guess that's kind of a group of 4. 3, 4, and 5 here are all kind of close together, technically. And the tent is at the top left of that picture. So, and it took a couple days for them, all these people to be found. They weren't all found on one day. I think some of them took like up to 2 weeks after finding the tent for them to locate some of these bodies, volunteers and everything. So let's go to the autopsy. I said autopsy. For some reason on this slide it says no signs of hypothermia, which is bullshit. There was definitely thank you, AI. So anyway, some of these people had like major trauma, which makes this very mysterious, like body trauma. The Rustem Slobodin guy had a skull fracture, which seems strange. Like you can't just fall in the snow and get a skull fracture. It's just I can't even.
I don't know, at those temperatures, the snow gets really hard.
I mean, I guess that's possible, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like really hard. So
Right. So Nikolai Thibault Brignoli also had a skull trauma. This is kind of, I mean, that just seems so strange to me that would happen. Instead of, you would expect every one of them just to have frozen to death, hypothermia, and died, not to have any like injuries that are as severe as like a car crash or something, you know?
to me, that's the most obvious, like, explain that to me kind of moment. Like, these are experienced hikers in the snow, in severe weather, severe cold weather. They know what it takes to not have their body deteriorate in those types of temperatures, and they're found with like hardly any clothes on.
Right.
You know,
Well,
no boots, no shoes.
They know
like-
exactly what they need to survive, and they don't
Right.
have any. So obviously they left in a panic, but also not in a way that they all scattered in different directions. You know, they
Mhm.
kind of followed downhill and then kind of spread out. So it's baffling to me.
So when they
this
were
point.
going downhill, that's the direction for which they came. Or
Well, it looks like they traveled alongside the mountain to get to where they were going. But say you have like the mountain on their right side, and they're traveling like alongside the hill, and the woods would be down to their left as they were traveling. So
okay,
yeah, so they just cut left basically.
so it's not going back the way they came.
Not really, no.
Okay.
So Ludmilla also had a major chest trauma. They said she had like blood in her stomach, and I think she'd even, her specifically, had bitten off her tongue. It looked like.
So that can happen to me if she was hit with like a slab of snow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like snow's coming at you at a high speed
I mean, I could see it
and
happening.
hits you, and maybe you're mid sentence or whatever, you bite your tongue off and
Mhm.
it shoves, you know,
Right.
you get gut
Yeah.
punched. So can you get gut punched so hard that blood fills your stomach?
True.
I'm sure, right?
I mean, I could also think of, you are so freezing cold and you're trying to stay awake because you know you're like getting into hypothermia, that you're biting your tongue just to like give yourself some kind of stimulus.
And you can't feel your tongue
Right.
anymore, so you're biting through it.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
so.
that's disgusting. By the
we
way,
let's see, it's got something else is playing. Some of the people appear primarily to have succumbed to exposure. Yeah, so some were frozen to death.
and then if you're biting your tongue too, and it's bleeding, and you're swallowing the blood,
Mhm.
Okay, I'm still stuck on that. I'm sorry.
That's
It's
okay.
just like,
So yeah, actually it says here these kind of are comparable to a car crash, which is strange. Like even I can't even think of falling down, cracking your head to the degree that some of these, like there are pictures out there of the autopsy stuff. I've kind of got some that are like AI recreations because I didn't want to. I don't know. I kind of feel iffy about even showing those, but yeah, the pictures are, it's rough to look at. Okay, so let's go to slide 14. Okay, or we're on 13. Uh, we'll skip this one right now.
why? We're already on 13? How many did you do?
51.
Jeez.
Okay, so like we said before, some of them were found barefoot, others wearing socks, and you can kind of maybe attribute that to being in a hurry to get out of the tent, which makes you feel like, I mean, what does it make you feel like? What do you
What
think
do I
about
think
that?
happened?
Yeah. It's just
So
based on,
I pretty much, back a couple months when you said you wanted to do this, and I watched all the things that I could watch on it and read. I think it really sounds like a huge avalanche, a slab avalanche, which consists of really hard packed snow on top of snow that's kind of melting or whatever, powdery, slid, and it's like, I mean, wouldn't you think that that's like getting in a car wreck? It, or with, inconsistent with a lot of these injuries, and you hear it coming or you see it coming or you know it's coming and you're trying to get out fast to maybe outrun it, which you're not going to outrun it, but you
yeah,
know.
but like, why wouldn't you go out the door of the tent? in
And
that case?
also the trajectory of where they were headed,
Hmm.
you know, down, like trying
Yeah,
to get
that makes
away.
sense.
So it makes sense to me, a lot of the injuries and the things that happened, because I don't know, you panic.
Do you think if you
You
had
don't-
such a horrible,
That's what I think about the tent. There's
Yeah.
something that made a panic, you know.
for sure. I just don't see how you can get us if the avalanche hits you and that attributes to like the head or chest injuries, how you could get up and travel like half a mile down to. I mean, I guess you could in a panic. Maybe that.
Yeah, I mean, adrenaline takes
Adrenaline.
over.
Yeah, I guess.
But
that's
you
possible.
know, that's set okay with me. What doesn't sit right with me is the 3 people that were found, and I guess we'll get to that in a minute, and how they were found.
Which ones are you talking about, babe?
So they were laying side by side, 2 of them, a female and a male, and then there was a female in a praying position on her knees, like beside the male and the female.
Huh.
I think that's correct. Do you have a diagram of it? Of how
I
they
think
were
I actually
found?
have that one. Actually, maybe I do,
don't?
and I'm not sure. I don't remember
Okay.
at this point.
Well, to me, though, that positioning, like, that's strange to me. Like, I couldn't like understand what that was about. But
yeah, I kind of, the injuries, the traumatic injuries, and then I think they all kind of died from different things in different spots. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like maybe exposure got to a couple of them because they weren't dressed. And then, like they find some of the bodies in different, like they find one dead that's missing jacket, shirt, and pants. So it's like, as some of them died, maybe some of them robbed clothing off of them to try and stay warm.
I don't know. I think you should probably tell us where everyone was found.
That's up next.
And how. Okay.
Okay.
I think that might be helpful.
Okay. See, those are some of the injury slides. So this is the first one. This is pretty interesting. The cedar tree. Whenever they discovered this, it looked like a lot of the branches going up this cedar tree. Cedar tree is a real sturdy, hard tree. Were broken off, and it looks like a fire was set beneath it, which makes perfect sense. But also the way some of it was framed by what was found online is that maybe they were trying to get away from something, so they climbed the tree. But I could also see this being completely logical, that they were trying to find branches that weren't wet in the snow to try and get a fire started, just to survive
Or
the
to
night.
see higher ground.
Right.
Seek higher ground, you know?
Maybe get
Would you do that if an avalanche was coming? Probably.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. So 15 to 20 feet up. This is where two of the hikers climbed up to, and maybe they had gotten lost in the snow because it was a snowstorm at the time, it seemed like. So who knows on this one? But I found it interesting because some of the bodies had like their jackets and stuff. Both of them had singe marks, like they were trying to huddle close to the fire and maybe couldn't feel that they were actually being, burned and stuff. So anyway, so that's the first one. Okay. This is the ravine. Okay. Two hikers were found in the ravine about 75 to 100 meters below the tent site. This is Yuri Doroshenko and Gregory. I don't even want to try his last name. These are two of the guys that had fatal head injuries. Doroshenko was wearing only a sweater, and Gregory was wearing only underclothes. So you can see up here, this is quite a ways that they got. No signs of a struggle. They weren't carrying anything basically, but just their living bodies at the time. Man, let's see what's next like that. Okay, Yuri Doroshenko. So this is the one that was the missing tongue. The missing tongue belonged to Yuri. It was not found at the scene during the autopsy or among his belongings or anything. So this tongue never materialized. It wasn't in his stomach or anything. So I was wrong on that. There's no explanation for its absence, why it would be missing. It says here that there's no evidence of animal activity in the head or neck that would account for it. Like, you don't see any places where it was picked at, by an animal, maybe like whatever, some carnivore.
Well, okay, so he was found when? Was he one of the first ones found?
He was one of the ones in the ravine that we just talked about.
One of the first ones found?
No, he wasn't the first one, I don't think, found. I don't think the ravine were the first ones.
No. Okay. It doesn't say. I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, it's odd that his tongue is missing, but for me personally, there are animals out there, and if it's been like 2 weeks, you're gonna have an animal that would go for somebody's open mouth. Like
In the
it's already,
snow?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's definitely animals out there. I attribute it to just some fox or wolf, or I don't know. I mean, it is odd, but for me, it's not really the oddest thing, considering how harsh the conditions are and that they're out in the wildest place in the world, that his tongue would be gone, honestly. All right. Let's see what's next.
I thought the one of the women's tongues was missing too.
Ludmilla?
Yes.
That is what I said a little while ago. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe we'll get to her.
Yeah, because I thought Yuri was one of the. Both Yuris were found near the cedar tree.
Is that correct?
Yeah, and there was an evidence that a fire had been built there.
Right.
But both men died primarily of hypothermia.
Which makes sense, being that they built a fire. They were just trying to. So this is an interesting part of it that I was talking about. Some of these guys worked in nuclear jobs and stuff like that. So the bodies where they were found had radiation on them, on a lot of them, like on their clothes and stuff, which
higher levels than normal.
higher than normal. Yeah.
How high?
Not crazy high. So let's see, beta radiation. I don't know what this means actually, but it was unusual in the fact that you would not find this on me or your clothes, but it was higher than normal and higher than the surrounding area, like any kind of radiation. They weren't picking up radiation with a Geiger or anything like that, just on their clothes. Which, conspiracy mind goes like, ooh, what could that be? It could
Yeah.
be like UFO type shit. That's where I want to.
Well, there's 7 types of electromagnetic radiation. So what's funny is the first one listed is radio waves.
As far as radiation,
And don't play around with me. Don't make me have a good day and start a conspiracy, because I
the
will.
radio waves.
Radio waves, and they're in radio stuff. Okay. And then there's microwaves, but okay, first of all, let me just say this. Radio waves are the lowest energy, longest wavelengths, and they're used for broadcasting and communications. So
Can you get radiation poisoning if somebody's shooting radio waves at you, like
I don't know.
damaging?
I don't know. That's a CIA question.
Yeah, it is.
And then microwaves, right? Used for cooking food, radar, or mobile phones. There's infrared. It's felt as heat using in thermal imaging or remote controls. There's visible light, the only part of the spectrum the human eye can see. And then there's ultraviolet or UV rays, high frequency light from the sun that can cause sunburn. There's X-rays, which is a high energy wave used in medical imaging to see the inside of the body. Thanks to I just drew a blank. Who was the brilliant female scientist who killed herself? X-raying herself?
Not Rankin. Madame Curie.
Madame Curie. There you go. And then gamma rays, the highest energy, shortest wavelength produced by radioactive atoms and cosmic events. So they have, but like you said, beta.
That's what it says here, but
Yeah,
that
there's
doesn't make
different. The 4 major types of radiation: beta, gamma, alpha, and neutron. So beta, its fast moving electrons are they carry a negative charge, much smaller and lighter than alpha particles. Moderate penetration or power, stopped by a layer of clothing or thin aluminum. And it can cause skin burns with direct external exposure. Didn't some of them have burns that weren't caused by hypothermia or anything like that?
Yeah, it was unclear what they were caused by, it seemed
Yeah.
like. So maybe that, that also lends some kind of credibility to the conspiracy that maybe there was some kind of like weapons testing or UFOs, maybe.
We don't call them UFOs no more.
I'm going to call them UFOs.
What are they called?
UAPs?
Yeah,
Is that it?
I guess. Yeah, sounds good to me. So there's beta. There was beta.
Right.
And then were there any gamma?
Not that I saw, but
Okay.
you might want to check that just in case. I'm not good at researching. I'm out of my depth on
Hey,
this
teamwork makes the dream work.
stuff.
But I tell you
Yas.
what, there ain't no teamwork without communication
That's right, baby.
and planning. So you tell me about these things and we can do it, but you got to tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's basically a very odd part of it, is that they had radiation. Jinxie says it was only on their clothes and not in their bodies. I think that's correct. So
Yeah.
they weren't like.
So it was underneath their clothes.
Is that what you read?
Where?
Where did you hear that? I'm asking.
Just now? Did I
No, I said it was
misunderstand?
on their clothes.
On their clothes. Okay.
Okay. All right, next. Okay, this is something, just take a minute and look at these pictures. They're great. So these are some of the last photos on their old-timey cameras.
I love the one on the bottom left.
This is a great
That's a lot of
picture.
joy in that picture.
It looks like this is whenever they were getting dropped off, like that first, like their last pit stop before they hit the wild, where they stayed overnight.
Mhm.
And this is where Yuri turned around, actually. So this is a great picture, or a great couple of pictures, rather. Here's a few more. Everybody looks super happy, other than it just be, it's so freezing cold.
Yeah.
He looks a little bored, bottom right. They all kind of do. I bet that's probably a fun pastime to go get into hiking for like weeks at a time. Would you ever do something like that?
Not after this. Not in the snow.
Not in the snow, right? Let's see. What else? Do we have any
I
more?
wouldn't do it here in Louisiana either.
Okay. So out of all of the last photos, this is my favorite photo, this one top left. It just looks so mysterious, just off into the snow. Here they are setting up camp one night at the top right. This one, I put these on the last photo slide because this one is just so picked up by conspiracy theory people, because there is a conspiracy that these people were like attacked by a Yeti or like a snow Bigfoot. You know, it's been talked about lots and lots over the years.
What's the snow Bigfoot? The
abominable snowman,
abominable
the Yeti.
snowman. The Yeti.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Yeti like that. We got what we got down here. What you call that?
We got the Rougarou.
That's not a Bigfoot though.
Yeah, it is.
Man, it's like a wolf man.
Yeah, it's our
Okay.
Bigfoot.
That's our Bigfoot. Anyway, so
He's
this is a
gonna come
very
get you tonight.
interesting picture. It looks strange if you zoom in. It's very low res, but this has also been
That looks like a hiker with a jacket on.
exactly. That's exactly what it is too.
Okay.
It's been debunked. This one was strange. I couldn't make out what it was, but I wanted to add it just to add some mystery to the streams. It's like, what is that? What are they taking a picture of? You know, it's like obviously a flashlight shining on something, but it was in their camera roll. So
It looks like from here, way back over here, it looks like a animal that's like leaping. But what is it? What does it look
I
like?
don't know,
to
man.
you?
I don't even know it looks like a Klingon batleth, like one of those things that Worf would, like those crazy sword looking things. That's what
I
it
don't
looks like to
speak
me.
that. Sorry, I don't know.
All right. Well, let's continue. See what we're looking. Okay, so what do we got? Tent come from the inside. Groups separated. Super cold. Some have severe internal injuries. Radiation. No sign of an attack or struggle. The theories are that we're really looking at here is avalanche, which I think is probably, it's the most probable thing. Military testing. Parachute mines is one we have not talked about yet, but that's like some old school Russian tech that they might have been tested in the area, and they were known to test in that area. UFOs, Yeti.
Which, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go for it.
No, the testing would explain radiation,
Possibly, yeah.
like leftover radiation that may have been like in the environment
Mm-hmm. I
and
can see
got on
that.
their clothes and then
Russians be nuking themselves to death back in the day, you know? They'd blow up a bomb next to a damn church and just carry on.
it's funny that you said GD in front of church. That's
Sorry, baby.
okay.
Okay, infrasound. This is not one that we have talked about yet, but there is a natural phenomenon where in like certain places in the mountains where, say, like the wind hits the slopes or something like that at a specific frequency, it becomes very unnerving and can cause panic and induce panic in a person. It's just like a specific wavelength.
Frequency.
Yeah, frequency of sound, and they possibly could have just panicked from the tent from this like low droning sound that they weren't even aware was happening. And that's been toyed with as far as a conspiracy as well, which I think is kind of cool. I wonder what it sounds like. I wonder if you can like listen to this frequency. I bet you can. I bet it exists.
Why
out
would
there.
you want to?
Just to hear what it sounds like, Just curious.
So this is
Yeah, so this is theory number one, but this is what you were talking about earlier, the snow slab avalanche. It's very, I think it's easy to understand. The slab of snow broke loose above the tent and slid over the tent, or maybe they saw it coming or knew it was coming and they got out quick. That would explain the tent cut from the inside, and that they didn't have a chance to gather any of their clothes or shoes or anything.
it's interesting to me too because they didn't go into the forest to build their tent. Like I was saying
Get some
before.
tree line.
Huh?
To get in the tree line, you mean?
Right. Or, to have nature kind of shelter you
It
for
is kind of odd, isn't it?
they built it into the snow. So that could have caused a crack or a fracture in snow that had already been sitting there solidifying over time,
Mhm.
and that could have maybe been a reason why they cut through it on the opposite side.
True. And I think, those parachute mines they talked about, how they'll like explode little dynamite things to create an avalanche?
Hmm.
Something similar could happen if they explode a bomb anywhere close, causing it to shake free. Who
But
knows?
did the government, since this is a university,
Right.
and I know it wasn't a school trip, but it was, they were part of a university's organization. I
Right.
wonder if the military would be doing that while the university, they knew they were on a hiking trip. Like, that doesn't make sense to me, but
I think the Russian government probably wouldn't even ask questions or care whether or not, people were out there. They probably
Their own
expect people
people?
to know, like, don't go out there if you value your shit. We're blowing stuff up.
yeah.
I think it's just a possibility anyway.
Value your life, because we don't. So
Exactly.
make sure you.
Exactly. Anyway, it doesn't explain the internal injuries really, if they all, for me specifically.
The slab?
I mean, if they got up and went for it, I still can't see like having a blunt force trauma to the head and being able to get that far away from the
Well, weirder stuff has happened.
tent. I mean,
I
that's
think you
fair.
could. I think you could with adrenaline. I mean, people lift cars off of babies and stuff.
Right.
I mean, they say they do. I don't know of any particular. Adrenaline gets you.
It's true. Adrenaline will get you through some shit. It'll lift a car off a
I mean, I've seen some crackheads that should be dead by the amount of stuff that they've ingested, and they just keep going. You
Hell
know?
yeah. Keep on going. Okay. So that's theory number 1. Let's go to theory number 2. Katabatic winds. So
What?
katabatic winds, baby.
Oh, that's the.
No, this is a different thing actually. So powerful downslope winds suddenly hit the tent, pushing the hikers to flee in panic. So it's the angle of the wind coming down off the slope, making it really, really strong. So it says it can go up to 200 plus kilometers per hour. Like, who knows how fast that is, kilometers and all, but
Like scattering them, maybe?
just like hitting them so hard that they just flee in panic. They're like, maybe it's lifting the tent up. Who knows?
But how do you have footprints like that
That's fair.
with
With
winds
wind blowing
that
so
fast?
far.
I mean, hurricane winds here.
That's true.
A Cat 1 or a Cat 2 hurricane. I mean, it's hard to even go out. But could you? I mean, that's 200 miles an hour. That's faster
Yeah,
than
how
a
would
Cat
snow,
5. Like, how would you?
Snow prints survive something like that?
No, not survive, but how would they be walking in the pattern that they walk?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be more chaotic than
Yeah,
one
it
foot in
could
front
knock
of the
you off
other.
your damn feet. They'd probably see like body
Right,
prints
you'd
rolling
be
down
like, take a step and roll. That'd
That'd probably
so
be the
that
best
doesn't
way.
that doesn't make sense to me. And then why would you cut your tent? That doesn't make sense to me.
That's fair.
Because one side of their tent was into the hardened snow.
Right.
The side that was cut was
Exposed.
exposed.
Right.
So that you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I get what you're
If
saying. That makes
part of
perfect
your
sense to
tent
me.
is into the mountain, it seems like that wind would roll. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me.
Jinxie says the thing that gives me pause in my theory is that the eyes of one missing. That's right. I forgot about the eyes. Thank you. And the cracked skull. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, the missing eyes. That was the 2 that were positioned, and then the female that was praying, like
Right.
in the praying position.
Well, that's what makes me think it's animals, because that's a
Right,
very
because
common animal thing.
the people that I'm talking about that were positioned like that were found in May. This is after the snow had melted. This is months of them sitting there with snow melted and animals coming out from winter. So.
Jinxie says the radiation for me is off the plate, since they both worked at a place that they could pick up radioactive particle dust. It wasn't on the bodies, just the clothing and fibers. That's true. And they could have just like slid on through some nuke juice or some
That's comforting.
Who
We
knows
could
what
be
they're doing
sliding
over
through
there
nuke
in
juice every day.
nuke juice.
And you just never know, you know?
Let's move to the next one. All right, so this
Nuke juice. That sounds like something that who's that lady you listen to?
I don't know. Who are you talking about?
The one you bought the book. What's her
Gail?
name? Gail.
Gail
That sounds like
Portugal?
something that would be in Gail's books. Nuke juice.
Nuke juice. Yeah, like the Nukaki thing. So this is infrasound.
No,
You know what I'm talking about.
I do, but that's not what I meant.
I thought that's what you meant. All right, so we talked about infrasound already. Ooh, it's called the fear frequency. So what it does, anxiety and dread, panic attacks, disorientation, nausea, loss of control, which I don't know what that means, is like bladder control, or an urge to flee, which I think this is one of the cooler theories to me, if it was legit, that something, a sound frequency could like get you so messed up,
Didn't that happen in Cuba?
Are you talking about a direct energy weapon?
Was
or
it
something?
Cuba, right? Or was it not Cuba? Argentina? Was it Argentina?
What, like an energy weapon kind of thing?
Yeah,
I've heard
it's
about.
it's
Yeah.
it's a real thing. It happened, and that's all the symptoms that happen. So is this infrared sound something from nature, or is this something that they're saying is like a weapon?
Well, the way I heard it explained in this is that they thought it was because of the way the wind went down the mountain, just like this perfect conditions that made
So
it.
nature.
Yeah.
I don't think that's it either.
Okay. I hear you. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Military tests. Okay. I guess we kind of talked about these already, so apologize. Y'all bear
Well,
with us.
what are they? Go through them anyway.
The hikers were caught in the middle of top secret military testing. Let me see on slide 27. Reasons people like this theory is it's like a lot of it's just during the Cold War. There's all kind of secrecy around the Russian government, the things they did, and the testing was just crazy back then. The radiation. Another part of this was that the locals, the people that lived in the area, the indigenous people, during that time were reporting lights in the sky, like odd lights. People call them orbs, things like that. This was reported during this time, and it had been reported before.
They're called the Mansi people,
Mansi. That's right. Thank you.
right? Yeah, because wasn't there a theory that the Mansi people came and killed them or something?
Correct. That was also one of the.
But I don't think that's who would be out in that.
Yeah,
weather
like why even
for
bother?
what? Yeah,
They didn't really take
that's
anything.
the least likely, I think.
I agree. Very unlikely. So also the fact that it's such a remote region that they might be testing something there seems plausible. And also the fact that during the investigation, the Russian government restricted all these files, like as far as what happened, the circumstances.
Yeah.
And I forgot the exact
They
term.
restricted their testing files.
No, they restricted all the files pertaining to the bodies found and all the info and their diaries and stuff like that.
Oh,
Some of them were taken and never spoken of again. So
to this day.
apparently
Oh my God.
there were some of them that have never seen the light of day. Also, the way that was worded whenever they wrapped up the investigation, or like what they publicly released to people, it was a odd term, and I forget how it was, like an unknown compelling force is what killed them, which is crazy. What does that mean?
That's what they stated in the file.
Yep, that was like
The files that they didn't release.
No, that's what the government said to like the news and stuff. An unknown compelling force.
But that could be anything. That could be like
It's very vague wording.
nature. It is,
Yeah.
which is what they do when they don't know,
Right.
or what they do when they do know. So we'll never know.
It's something that they would say today, I feel like.
Yeah.
They would try and spin that to us, gaslight us. Okay, so secret weapon testing, we talked about this. Parachute mines, missile launches, radioactive material, chemical agents. Why it's possible, there's military zones near the area, and it says witnesses reported loud explosions. I'm guessing that's the Mansi people. And like I said, they had orange lights seen in the sky that was reported. Also, of course, the radiation, which we talked about. So we'll move on from that one. We beat that one to death. Okay, this is what you were talking about. The Mansi theory. Was it local retribution? So early investigators claim the hikers may have been killed by the Mansi people, inhabitants of the region. They're indigenous people. I wonder what like their genealogy. Are they like?
Do you want me to look that up?
Yeah, look it up. for me.
Okay.
So why it was considered. Footprints of 25 to 30 local residents were found near the tent. I don't think that's true. I think that's questionable. If anything, it was the investigators probably. Why it's unlikely? No signs of struggle. No Mansi weapons or tools are found. So there's just like no people around. It's cold. There's probably inside. They ain't trying to come mess with hikers. Just traveling around. I don't think. It was pretty much ruled out though, so we can put that one to bed. Now this one, I'm hoping you have some info on this one. The spy KGB theory.
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn anything about that, Ben?
Well, okay. Do you want me to look? Do you want me
You
to
go
tell
for it.
you about the people first, or
Yeah, tell me.
Okay. Let's see.
I appreciate it, man. I worked pretty hard on at least trying to make it look slick. I'll get better at it, though. This has been fun for me, and it feels good to do something different where I'm not dependent on Shanny to go live or worrying about trauma. It's just been, I don't know, I feel good about doing this kind of stuff, even though it's really nothing. But thank you.
So the Mansi people are indigenous people of Russia. They number about 12,228 people. They traditionally live in western Siberia along the Ob River basin and the Ural Mountains, primarily within, I can't say any of those words and I'm not going to attempt to. So in Russia, they're formerly known as Voguls. Voguls.
Vogels?
Yep.
Okay.
And they speak their own language, which is interesting. They are traditionally engaged in fishing, hunting, trapping, and reindeer herding. That's awesome.
Hey, can y'all hear music? I can't hear it on my side, but I'm just curious. Do y'all hear like background music? My buddy Bucket, shout out to Bucket. He hooked us up with some music, but I'm not sure if y'all can hear it or not. He was a lot of help actually, and kind of talking through this whole stream with me. So, shout out. Okay, cool, nice. Yeah, he put this 2-hour soundtrack together for me. It's really dope. Okay, so the spy KGB theory. Some believe that the hikers were Soviet spies and investigating secret sites. Why it's been proposed. The hike took them through a restricted military zone.
Do you want me to finish?
Yeah, I'm sorry, babe.
No, that's okay. I just thought that this was interesting that they had a conflict between their people and the Russian state. It was a rebellion between 1931 and 1934 where the natives rebelled. The rebellion was crushed by the Red Army. This was the last known conflict between the Russian and Siberian tribes,
Interesting.
but could explain maybe some animosity, right, towards the people.
True. That's a good point.
So,
So you could almost if you really think about it, you could understand that it may be possible for something like that to happen, just as retribution.
right. But this is Wikipedia, by the way. They say that their traditional weapons that they use are longbows, arrows, and spears.
Hell yeah.
And they wore iron helmets and chainmail. Those weapons don't really.
Don't equate
They
to
don't
any of the
align,
damage
right.
to the people.
Right.
So
But
get out of here with
that's just
that.
a sad note. Okay.
So anyway, okay. The hike took them through a restricted military region. Like we said, they were testing weapons. Who's to know whether or not maybe they got too close to something that was restricted, or maybe they were investigating something. Who knows? Um, it says supporters claim they were followed. They had camera and maps, which that's perfectly normal. Um, or that possibly Soviets silenced them to hide secrets, like maybe they saw them getting close to something and had to take care of it. But that doesn't make any sense at all either, considering how they were found. Um, what investigators found, there was no evidence that the hikers were spy, no classified documents, blah blah blah. Nothing suggests that they were followed. So probably not spy KGB, although I think one or two of them did have some kind of ties to KGB, but who didn't in Russia back then? You know? Now this one is
Oh, okay.
fun
I
for
thought
me.
you-
I'm sorry, baby, were you going to say something?
No,
Okay.
that spy exchange gone wrong is one of the theories that you were just talking about.
Right.
Like, one or more of the hikers, they think this is the theory around that, is like one or more of them were KGB, others found out, they were upset about it, and there's like a confrontation that took place or something. But there's no evidence to that
Yeah.
in their diaries or anything. I
No.
don't know.
I would like to know what's in that one diary that got confiscated.
Oh, okay.
But-
There is one.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I have no idea about it other than somebody in the government picked it up. The investigators, other investigators got to see it once, but it just kind of disappeared, you know? So who knows? But this one, theory number 8, orange glowing spheres, bros. We in the UFO.
I have one more. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
One more thing about the KGB. So the one hiker that attracted the most not information, but the most speculation around that was the 38-year-old
Right, the military guy. I forget his
My
name now.
dyslexia is out of control with these names. He was a World War II vet, right? You told us that.
Right. He'd been through some shit.
He also joined the expedition late.
Oh.
Yeah, he
that's
joined it
interesting.
late, and they think that possibly he was KGB operative, military intelligence officer, an undercover agent, or a counterintelligence asset. And some people say that the real purpose of the expedition was for him to join it and carry out, like an agent scenario of some sort, like
He on
a
some 007 shit.
undercover. Yeah. For what though? It doesn't say. Like, I don't know what,
Yeah.
what he would. Why would you target 9 other college kids?
Right.
That are
And he died anyway, so like
right.
mission failed, bro.
Right.
Mission
Right.
failed. You didn't do it. Yeah, I think that's right, Jinxie. Thank you. Okay, on to the next one. Theory number 8, glowing orange spheres. So this is a witness reports talking about the Mansi people reported seeing bright orange or red spheres in the sky on the night of the incident. This shit is right up my alley. I love hearing about like UFO stuff. So, and it wasn't just the hikers. So even the hikers possibly saw something. I don't know if that's true. That might be AI elaborating a lie to us. People think that it could be like military flares or a natural phenomenon like meteor. But, if you're a UFO guy, bro, you know about them glowing spheres, man. They all over the place. So I personally like this theory, although I think that highly, not very likely, but I want to believe, like Agent Mulder.
Did you get the mysterious photograph, frame 34, on there, that shows a bright object, like an illuminated object?
Is that the one we were looking at earlier?
I
think it
don't
is.
think so.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it.
Maybe, but It's called Frame 34.
I'll see if I can look it up real quick. Just talk for a minute, and I'll
Me
look it up.
talk?
Yeah, talk. Let me see.
Okay. So I think one of the things that the UFO conspiracy theorists point to several facts that are genuine, really. The reports exist of strange orange luminous objects over the region by the indigenous people there for weeks before the hike. Some clothing showed elevated radioactivity. Several victims suffered extraordinary injuries, such as missing eyes or the tongue tissue. And then, of course, this frame 34 photo that they had in their possession with the bright illuminated object.
Okay, I've got it pulled up. Do you want to take a look?
Yeah. Which,
Okay.
I mean, okay. To me, this looks like
Doesn't look like it. Looks like
flash
lens flare.
that went wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Looks like
Snow
lens
is
flare.
bright. So even at night, if you were, maybe your camera dropped and it went off or.
This is Gregory's camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this, like, to me personally, I can see how people can, theorize that maybe this is something, but to me it looks like nothing. Dude, I've taken pictures that look like this 100 times, but who knows,
Yeah, I mean, it says too ambiguous to identify as a craft.
Right.
It looks like something got, like, maybe overexposed or,
Let's see. Did this go back to the right? What are y'all looking at right now? Do y'all see? Might have messed up here.
Man, some of these pictures are diabolical. Oh, it looks like an eagle. That's what they're saying that animal is that I said looked like it was leaping. They said it looked like an eagle.
Okay, an eagle.
Yeah, but I don't
really see it, but-
that either.
All right, on to the next. Ooh, another favorite of mine. So this is a zoomed in picture of the Yeti theory, which, people who love Bigfoot will see a Bigfoot everywhere in the world, so it does look creepy in a snowy landscape to see, like, a mysterious dark figure. But it has been debunked as one of the people that was, like, doing the searching, like this picture was, or like somebody in the expedition. So who knows who it could have been. So sorry, Yeti, maybe you'll have your day, but it ain't today. This is another weird one. Escaped prisoners, which is crazy. Prisoners doing up, 50 miles from any kind of civilization, attacking hikers. So we'll go ahead and skip past that one. You want to know why I made a slide of that? Theory 12. Are y'all still with me? I know this is a lot. I did put a lot of work into this, but maybe it was a little bit too extensive. Psychological panic and hypothermia, which you could say that's, to do with hypothermia or the infrasound.
Yeah.
They just lost their minds because of exposure. And let's see what it says. Hypothermia impairs judgment, coordination, and decision making, which all that explains a lot as far as, like, them splitting ways and doing different things after they got out of the tent. Exposure and hypothermia cause confusion, exhaustion, disorientation. Some injuries may be results from falling during panic or while disoriented. So, I mean, I disagree with falling and cracking your skull so hard that, especially with two people having kind of like a similar injury and then another one having a crushed chest. There is a theory, but I won't go into it until a little bit later.
Did you read or watch about the two dogs that they came in contact? There are pictures of them with two dogs.
I saw a picture of a dog in the on the Russian website. It looked like kind of a German Shepherd looking dog.
Alta, is the one, if I'm saying that correctly. And then there's another. Did you see that at all? There's some theories behind that. think that both of the dogs were part of the Mansi people, like one
Oh,
of the
okay.
Mansi people, one of their owners or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Snow dog.
Beautiful dog.
Yeah. So this is, of course, we talked about this already, the Soviet cover-up. So the case was marked secret. Many of the files, to this day, I think, remain classified. I absolutely believe that Soviet authorities withheld information uh, over the situation for whatever reason. I think that probably they're just real secretive, and maybe they were just as confused as what happened. So, um, let's see, missing and unpublished material. Some photos, documents, and autopsy reports have never been made public. Um, the negatives of the pictures and stuff were taken. Let's see. Why information may have been withheld. Cold War secrecy and the site's remote location raised suspicions. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So,
Well, there's also part of the theory is that the military, this Russian military, staged or manipulated the scene to
which you
conceal
could
what
totally
really
see.
happened. Huh?
You could totally see that happening. I mean, I believe that.
Yeah. Well, I mean that like I said, the slap theory makes sense to me. It could be multiple things.
Yeah.
You know, sound can also knock snow loose. They use,
Mhm.
I mean, part of the reason, I could see several different things.
Yeah, all happening together to
Right.
cause.
But I'm telling you, the thing that sits crazy with me isn't even the missing tissue or the eyes, because animals can explain that. It's the way they were positioned. Those two hikers and then that female hike.
Weren't they hugging? Like two
Yes.
of them were.
Which
Yeah,
that
which
makes
makes sense.
Yeah, but the one
Maybe she was
in-
praying. She's like, "Oh my God, please
Maybe.
save me from this bitter cold." You know.
It just seems, I don't know.
It is
just
strange.
not
I
something
agree.
that sits right with me.
I agree with you.
I would have loved for you to do a slide of how they were found, like something
Maybe
AI
we can find a picture of it real quick.
of like
talk for a
how they were found, as an overall picture, and then each one on their own,
I don't know if I could
or
get in
each
trouble for
scene
that.
on their own. Why would you get in trouble for
I
that?
don't know. I don't. I'm just
And
saying.
who's
I
go-
might.
Who's gonna check you, boo? Like,
I don't know. YouTube be tripping. Let's see. Okay, so let's look at this real quick. Give me a second here. Let me correct.
because I'm visual, I like to see.
Let's see what. There it is. Okay.
The slides are really good, though. You did a
think
good
so?
job. I mean, yeah.
All right. So these are how the bodies were found. These are the ones you're talking about. I think it says. This is how the first bodies were found on February 27th, where my mouse is. I think y'all probably can't see my mouse. Hold on. Close to a fire pit. So these are the ones under the tree. The photo is made before the snow is removed. We can see the checkered shirt of Krivoshenko. This photo started a legend that two bodies were covered with a blanket, burial style, which I guess is not true. So many theories around this stuff. This is the same bodies after the snow has been cleared. Doroshenko facing down, Krivoshenko facing up. Doroshenko had burns on his foot and right temple, which to me makes perfect sense if you're freezing cold to just do anything to get warm by a fire. I'm actually shocked that they were able to get a fire going. On their hands were observed numerous minor injuries, bruises, and abrasions.
Which makes sense to me, because if you can't feel your skin and you're moving, and you may be cutting yourself or, bruising, hitting things that you don't know you're hitting,
Okay, so here's an interesting tidbit too. The position of Doroshenko's body was found does not match the livor mortis on his back. So like whenever you die and you stay there for even a couple hours, the blood in your body will pull to the back. Like say if you're laying on your back, it'll pull to your back. It'll all
Yeah,
settle.
it will pull to your back if it's not minus 13 degrees.
I mean, that's a fair point
You know
too.
what I'm saying? Like you're
But even you're not going to freeze
frozen.
immediately once you're dead.
I mean, yeah.
You think?
You're freezing to death literally when
I
you're
don't know. I don't know.
you know, so
I
that
think Bigfoot
that doesn't
turned him
check
over
out
and
for
said, "Hey,
me.
bro, you all right?" This suggests that whoever's in contact with the bodies felt compassion, pity, and respect to the sea. There are a lot of conspiracy theories on this Dylatov Pass website, which is a Russian website. It's just got like everything. 'Cause I use it a lot to kind of do my little research. Anyway, okay. Maybe let's exit that. Okay, let me see where we at. Okay, so Soviet covered it. All this stuff was withheld. Very mysterious. On to the next. So they kept these files secret for decades. They had like families and people that were very interested in the case or invested in it for one reason or another. Really had to petition the government to get some of this stuff released, and some of it has still not been released. And people are still trying to like get some of this info out of the Russian government, which will probably never happen. Anyway, let me see where we're at. What slide is this? 37? Okay. On to the next. Okay.
Well, I think that enough certainty to keep the debate alive or to keep the conspiracies going is just the lack of transparency with all of the governments.
bruh, just
Like,
release the
release-
files
The Dylatov files, release them.
and the Epstein files.
Release them all.
Give us what you
Release the
got.
files, bruh. Like, the fastest way to kill a conspiracy is truth, and truth will always come out. What's done in darkness will come to light. I tell my kids that all the time. That's a Proverbs. Just tell the truth, you know?
I feel like it's against the Russian government's like, nature to tell the truth about anything like this. I feel like they've got more secrets than probably anybody, you know. Okay, so this just kind of goes over the info that we knew, like, which is kind of, this is redundant, I realize now looking at it. So you got to forgive me. I was making these after work and tired, so I repeated myself a little bit, you got to admit. So either the questions that remain, I think this is a good to look at a little closer. So we don't know why they left the tent. I think I'm leaning with you towards avalanche, being that some of them weren't dressed at all, that they literally panicked.
Well, and listen,
You gotta
I
be
think-
pretty panicked to like.
well, I mean, I think that we struggle as humans, maybe not everybody, but the majority of people struggle with like things consisting at the same time, a couple of truths consisting at the same time. Maybe it was a military operation that had to do with sound
Mhm.
that released the avalanche. You know what I'm saying? Like these are
all could be true.
yeah, and the reason maybe they're hiding this information or refraining from telling all of it is because that may have happened. And ultimately, the Russian government would be partly to blame as and nature, right?
Mhm.
So, we struggle with things that can be simultaneously true together,
True. Yeah, that's true. Another question is, why did they separate? Which is a good question for me. Knowing that is such a dire situation, I definitely feel like my gut instinct is like we all got to stay together.
I think that's more of a military thought, though.
But I feel like these people
You
are
know-
inherently military. The Russians, they're like
No,
military cousin or something. Like,
not
like everybody's.
everybody. I think that
Bro, these are
to me, that's
experienced
a
hikers. I
very
guarantee you, there's a protocol.
experienced hikers, but they're not military. Like, that's very military to me to think like, team, we got to stay together. When someone is trained to think that way under high pressure, when you're not trained to think that way,
Oh,
your
yeah.
first thought is self-preservation.
That's a good point. And even if you are trained that way, sometimes that panic instinct
Yeah.
will overtake any kind of training that you
Yeah.
got. I mean, that's a fact. I've seen it. I've experienced it. Um, what causes severe internal injuries, which to me is one of the most interesting things. I know we've beaten it to death at this point, but like big old skull fractures and a crushed chest, that's odd. It makes me feel like maybe Bigfoot was like baseball bat swinging people against a tree or so. That's where my mind wants to go, you know.
Yeah.
Why was there so little external trauma, which is an interesting addition to that. So that kind of actually kills my theory that it was like created by some kind of, you know, if you get hit by something, you're gonna have some external trauma.
You may, but you may not. There's a lot of people that, like, I've told that, well, I don't want to tell that story. That's a bummer. There's people that get in vehicle accidents, let's say, that may have like a split liver or, you know,
Oh, that's a good point. Okay.
blood in
Okay.
their stomach or whatever. They're internally bleeding and you can't tell that they are, you know, you can't tell anything's wrong. So to me, if you're hit by an avalanche of snow, which is not like the Hollywood avalanche, it would be like a piece of concrete coming at you at a high rate of speed.
For sure.
Like,
So hard.
you're not, and it kills you from your internal injuries. You're not gonna have, your body doesn't have enough time to react to like make a bruise or make a,
Yeah.
you know.
That's a good point. That's true. I like that. Why were the clothes radioactive like that? Which we've talked about. Okay, what happened to this lady's tongue and soft tissue?
Wait, I think it's important to touch back on that though.
Okay.
Because this is where they documented, right? This is a military, where they did military testing in this area,
in the area,
correct?
for sure.
So that would explain that. I mean,
Possibly.
it would, radiation just doesn't disappear in a short period of time. It takes a long time, right?
Yeah,
Or no?
typically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you have like a real slow half-life on
maybe it started
radiation.
out as
Some of it.
the bad radiation and turned into lesser, I don't know how to say that.
It's possible.
And that would make sense to me, because if it was on their clothing, like Jinxie said, then they're picking it up in the environment. You know?
What's up, Hatfield? Hatfield says there's reports in Vietnam of apes grabbing and throwing people. No kidding.
Are
help
there
me-
snow? You were talking about the
The
Yeti.
Yeti. Yeah. I mean, I could see. Hey, Yeti be throwing shit. That's a fact. Okay, that's documented. Why was the investigation closed so quickly, and why did the Soviet authorities restrict access to the area? But because they were doing their own investigation, I think, or they knew more than they were willing to share with the, people of Siberia.
Well, the people of the world, when something like that happens, people want to know like what is going on, you know?
Mm-hmm. For sure. I mean, this would be huge news here if 9 hikers died
Mhm.
in like wherever, in the desert or in the snowy.
Yeah.
Okay. We got 10 slides left. Okay, so the theories we got on this slide is avalanche. A slab avalanche hit the tent, forcing a desperate escape, which checks out for me. The Carmen vortex. Well, I think that's the katabatic winds. I don't know why it's called that. Extreme downslope winds caused panic in the collapsed tent. Military testing, infrasound, and also it could be something that we have no clue of. Okay. So about the Soviet investigation, it's very odd that they closed it so quickly. And that they restricted access, and this is everything we've already said. I know we're repeating ourselves.
That doesn't surprise me though. Governments want to wrap up stuff really fast.
What? What do you mean?
The government,
Nothing to see
government,
here?
yeah, wants to wrap up stuff really fast and just say like,
Yeah, I guess if they're involved.
if they keep it open, people keep asking questions, and people still have, which people keep asking questions anyway. But in 1959, I mean, this is what, 14, 15 years after, well, no, not that far.
Quick
11 year, wait, hold on.
math. Quick math, baby.
Wait. World War II was over in 45?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. So this was 11 years after World War II.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Bro,
Oh my God.
somebody help us out. Okay. We struggling.
14 years. I was right the first time.
Okay.
14, right? 14 years after World War II. 1959, and after World War II, there's a lot more media advances as far as how people were
You could definitely
getting
shut down a case
information.
quickly
Yeah,
if you wanted to.
And my point is, like, they didn't have social media back then, but things were still going on. You said the Cold War was happening, like all this stuff. They don't want people up in the business.
Yeah, there was no social media, that's for sure. Your social media was like you ring a ding ding your friend Doris on the phone and say, "Did you hear about the 9 hikers down by the Ural Mountains?" That wasn't funny. Okay.
The voice was. I enjoyed the voice. That was more 1920s voice, though, huh?
All right. I like how the AI snuck this in here. The Von Beardo files. That's the name of the channel now, guys. Just get with it.
I like it.
It's so
I like
stupid.
that.
I was far beyond it whenever I caught it. I was like, it's staying. I'm not fixing that. So in 2019,
Well, listen, this ain't about perfection. This is something you enjoy.
it's true. We
and
did say
so
that.
Don't worry
I
about
said
it.
if I wait for it to be perfect, which it'll never be, that I'll just won't do it. So y'all are watching me struggle through this shit. So
Welcome.
welcome. This is the drama community. Welcome. Hussy reference. All right, so case reopened in 2019, which they were trying to do forever. 60 years later, that's crazy.
Actually, in 2019, they're still in 2019, 2020. They still have this. They still had this open in the legal system in Russia.
Right.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I read that. And what they come back to, so they like new technology, new modeling advances and everything, like they're able to look at the situation with fresh eyes and like new technology. And really what they come back to, which is like the most logical, in my opinion, explanation, although it's not my favorite, because I want it to be something fantastical like UFOs and Yetis, but they come back to that it is an avalanche. And why this was discredited in the past was that whenever they look at the slope of the Ural Mountains there, that you need a certain amount of angle to even create an avalanche.
But says who?
Science.
Physics.
Back then, they didn't obviously know too much. So it's been like rechecked and remodeled, and they found that like it indeed did have enough slope for this slab avalanche like you're talking about to occur. So the proposed sequence is like the snow was unstable and the slab, like you talked about, slid down the mountain and either was coming towards them and they made a quick escape, but I tend to think that the snow was hitting the tent and that they all panicked and could not get to the door maybe, so they just cut open and maybe crawled out of the snow, who knows. That it was that intense that they just had no time for anything. They descend towards the forest and they are not able to return to the tent, maybe not even to see the tent at that point. Like it could have been
They're probably
completely
disoriented.
true. Yeah, they may have been sleeping when this happened, who knows.
No. Sleepwalking?
No, sleeping whenever the snow hit the tent.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Bro.
Bruh.
So the like the snow event could be the catalyst for what killed the people, which is like hypothermia and stuff like that. Also, the traumatic wounds of the people that were down in the ravine, they found them close to like a place where there was a snowbank, like maybe over their head, and whatever happened, could have caused snow to collapse. Now the snow's super heavy, especially if it's like multiple feet
Yeah.
of it, so it could weigh tons
Yeah.
on them, which could have caused the their brains to be crushed in their chests and stuff like that. And then given time where snow might melt later on, that would uncover these bodies, which it would make it look like a mystery. You would just see these bodies uncovered with internal trauma but no external. So that's, it checks out. But let's continue. Where are we at? Yep. Does
You know
it
what I
fit?
was thinking about?
What's that, babe?
When we were talking about the slab injuries or whatever, the internal injuries, is that episode on Will Trent where
What's
it's
that?
actually one of the recent episodes before the season ended, this last season, where the female detective, Will's childhood friend and like the love of his life or whatever, I forgot her name. Dang,
I don't even know what you're
I'm
talking
so
about.
tired right now. Her husband, they had gotten in a wreck on the way to the hospital when she was having her baby, and he like rode in the ambulance with her and everything, and when he got to the hospital, collapsed because
Internal. Yeah.
and died, but it didn't appear. When he lifted his shirt up, you could see like
Swelling or something.
of his liver and stuff, but yeah, you couldn't, I would say like in snow, that would probably be very different, in freezing snow or whatever.
You mean you wouldn't be able to tell that you had a...
Like on the external.
Oh, no. I mean, they're
Yeah.
completely covered in, or
Yeah.
maybe not. Some of them didn't have clothes, but you
Right.
probably be the last thing you'd think of. Be like, hey, bro, are your internals okay?
Yeah.
You're just trying to make it a couple more
I don't know.
minutes.
That's just a side note. That was just what I thought of when.
All right, so minimal snow on the tent, which I was talking about earlier. When the tent was found, it looked like it was exposed to the elements, but after melting, that could have explained like this
Yeah, I mean,
snow
this was
avalanche that
weeks later,
disappeared.
right?
Yeah, and something else about this area that I happened upon is that it has literally the most extreme temperature differences on planet Earth. Like, gets so cold, gets into the minus like 60s, 70s, and then goes all the way up to like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So, it's not crazy to think that this snow could have melted at this point. All right, let's get through this. This is talking about how science recreated the disaster. They did modeling a snow slab, and all that stuff checked out, like we talked about already. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, this explains everything, actually, the avalanche, how the people died of hypothermia, why they descended into the forest, the evacuation of the tent. There's a couple things that kind of are odd, but can be explained by other things like you were talking about, like the radiation and stuff like that. It says what it doesn't explain. Why did they wait so long to leave the tent in the avalanche? If the avalanche was so immediate and powerful, I mean, that didn't make sense. They, could have hit them by surprise.
What if the avalanche hit them in the tent?
That's what I was saying earlier.
And
Like,
then they cut it open. They had all the injuries, cut it open to escape down to get help, and then that's when
yeah, that's what I was saying a little while ago. It could be that.
they're like, "Oh, we panicked and don't have no clothes on," basically, or enough clothes.
Okay, so
But then, wouldn't the tent be covered?
correct. I mean, it could have been like a split second where they just got out in time,
Or it hit them.
And
They
then
got
kept
their
sliding.
injuries and just kept as a slab, kept going.
Yeah.
But then, were the trees disturbed around the area?
I didn't see anything that mentioned that they were like knocked down or anything.
I don't know. I think way too much into stuff. So
Bro, we could sit here and do this all night, and y'all could watch us look so regarded. Okay, but it is fun to think about. I really did repeat myself a lot here. Okay, Let's see what else we got. Boy, I repeated myself so much. I don't need to do this so tired anymore. Anyway. Yep. So we can pretty much count out everything but Snow Slab at this point. But it was fun to, and it's been such a mystery for all these years.
Well, we can't count out everything. Like I said, in my opinion, allegedly,
right. Could be still military activity
it
that
could
caused the Snow
be
Slab.
4 different,
That all this could have happened, and then a Bigfoot could have slammed him against a tree too.
that descended from a UFO.
We don't know.
The aliens
We'll never
hired
know.
him because the KGB hired the aliens.
That's true.
That's what you would love to happen, huh?
I don't know if I want it to go that far, but yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
All right, last slide. Let's see what we got. I think I got their pictures again. Yep. All 9 hikers. Ludmilla, Yuri, Rustum. I like that name, Rustum. Alexander, Semyon, Yuri again, Zaneta, Igor, and Nikolai. So very sad. And like I said, there was one hiker that didn't go along with him who talked later about how much he regretted not being with them on that trip. But, it saved his life. And these people have family that are still trying to get some clarity on things that happened, as far as like their diaries and some of the pictures that were confiscated by the government that may not even exist anymore. Honestly, who knows what the Russian government has done with things like that.
Well, yeah. I think it absolutely exists.
You think?
Yeah. But
Probably right.
it may be stored up in a basement somewhere.
Was there ever a group of people? It's a rogue. I'm not sure what that means. Anyway, bro, this is pretty basically, I spent a little bit of time trying to get this together, and I appreciate y'all sitting through it with me, because
Thank you for letting me sit in.
yeah, thank
And
you.
I'm gonna go now to
Yeah, this
my
is the
baby's
end of it,
asleep, and
dudes.
I'm gonna go put her in my bed. So but
And
bye, guys.
yeah, thank y'all. I appreciate all of y'all
You can keep
hanging out.
talking. I'm just
They all escaped to the island of disappeared
keep
rich people.
talking.
Anyway, so yeah, once again, thanks guys. I'm gonna pick a different, if anybody's got some suggestions on like a different mystery that I can like practice, yeah, send it to Stevie, because I want to practice getting better at this. I know this is like, it was quite a slog, and maybe I won't go as in detail and be repetitive as I was, but I enjoyed it. This feels fun and different, and if y'all like it, I will keep on doing it. We'll pick something else. So I'm open to any suggestions, mysterious stuff. Look, we talk about the Epstein files if y'all want, bro. That shit is crazy as well. So I guess I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys. Oh, and thank you to Bucket for all the help with this. He did help me extensively with just bouncing ideas off of him, and with the music and stuff, and just general counsel. That's my boy. Anyway.